approaching here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in North London. Today, we've got a good one on tap. It's the San Francisco 49ers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's get this going. Mike Tirico along with Greg Olson, Eddie Pinheiro to get it started. And off we go from North London. And he will be stopped at the 25-yard line. So that's where this opening drive of the game will begin. Season 6 with the Jaguars for Trevor Lawrence, the former #1 overall pick out of Clemson from the 2021 draft.
Well, it's funny the difference a coach makes, right? I mean, there was so much question in Jacksonville, Mike. How do they get the best out of Trevor Lawrence? Well, you go out and get Liam Cohen to not only be your head coach, but your offensive play caller and quarterback developer. They put the two of them together a season ago, leads Jacksonville to the playoffs, and clearly one of the best seasons of Trevor Lawrence's career.
Line of scrimmage is the 37-yard line for 1st and 10. Right back to Newton. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield. 12 more yards from him there, and another first down.
It doesn't matter the level of football, Mike. If they can't stop it, keep running it until they can. And I think that's what we're seeing here on this drive. Back-to-back explosive gains on the ground. I would imagine at some point the defense gives it a different look.
On first down, they'll go back to Newton. And he's going to be taken down. Not so easy this time. They drop him back behind the line. It's 2nd down.
Sometimes you run all those big bodies out there, you kind of tip your hand. I always love going big jumbo personnel for a play action. In this case, they keep the ball on the ground. The defense knew it was coming, and they suffer a loss.
Lawrence now on 2nd down. That's complete. He finds Brian Thomas. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
It's a gain of 16 yards.
16-yard pickup on that one. First down, Jacksonville.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Lawrence going to give it to Newton. And a nice run there. He'll be stopped just shy of the first down. A pickup of 9.
Like the old adage, you run to set up the pass. This modern offense nowadays, we're starting to see that flipped upside down on its head. Typically, the success of the passing game is what allows teams to have success like this in the run game.
We're going to run it, and this is LeQuint Allen. And he'll take this one forward for about 3, and that's a first down.
It's possible they could have tried to be a little bit more aggressive on 2nd down, knowing they had 3rd and inches in their back pocket. But I don't think anyone's going to complain. Pick up the first down, extend the drive, see if you can go score.
So now they'll pitch it out here. Able to make one man miss, but that's all. They get him. Take him down behind the line.
So much of what makes a toss play so good is it allows you to get the ball on the perimeter of the defense really quickly, and it doesn't stress all of your backside blocking. But on the downside, it does get your running back running east and west. They're running sideways for the first couple steps, and with a defense that can run to the ball, you're able to get you down for a loss.
Throw left side, but that's going to be incomplete. Brian Thomas, the intended receiver. And it'll be 3rd down.
They just rushed that decision just a little bit downfield. I mean, it's one thing to trust your guy to make a play in tight coverage, but I think if he was a little bit more patient in his progression, there was an easier throw out there that wouldn't make him have to throw such a tight window ball and put his receiver in a tight spot.
And that one's incomplete. They really really ratcheted up the coverage there. And they force fourth down.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
On for the Jaguars field goal. A 42-yard attempt.
Little's kick is good. And the Jaguars will take a 3-0 lead.
They're used to playing a different style of football most of the time in this stadium, but even with how knowledgeable these English fans are, you always hear a little bit louder of a cheer for a made field goal than you do back in the States.
We'll get this up past the 20. That's where they'll set up shop. Brock Purdy leading this 49ers offense out from the last pick in the draft to his 5th season in the NFL.
Well, I'm just so happy we can move past the, last pick in the draft, Mr. Irrelevant. Those conversations with Brock Purdy, in my mind, they're over. And this is a bona fide, top-tier NFL quarterback. The 49ers paid him as such just a season ago. And when you look at the chaos that happened around this organization last year, the injuries, the star players in and out of the lineup, that's the number one thing going into the season. They got to keep Brock Purdy behind center, keep the talented offensive players around him, because when they're on the field with Kyle Shanahan, this is a Super Bowl contender.
And that ball incomplete over the middle. He was trying to hook up with Deebo Samuel that time. And it's going to be third down.
Back in the day, Mike, you know how they decided who played offense and who played defense? The guys who caught the ball better played offense, and the guys who couldn't play defense. And now, that's obviously not the case anymore. But this is one of those that still gives defensive players a bad rap.
On third down, it's Purdy. Throw left side, taken in by Purdy. They get 16 on that connection. It's good for a Niners first down.
That's a nice play there from Kirk, and he's part of a reworked 49er receiving core. They brought in a couple veteran receivers who they still believe can make a big impact, and a good example of it right there.
So, 1st and 10 here now at the 38. Play fake to McCaffrey. Now, Purdy. Now he'll swing it out to his fullback. He'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
Well, not exactly a highlight reel type play, but in some cases, just checking the ball down to your fullback, picking up some positive yards is the only play that's to be made.
From the 41, here's 2nd down and 7. They send Evans in motion. Back to the air again is Purdy. Nowhere to go. He's going to be taken down. Josh Hines Allen gets him for a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. And we're not going to have another snap here. First quarter will come to an end. It's the 49ers with the football to start quarter number 2. As they've got it with 3rd and 14 coming up. Out of the gun, here's Purdy. He's got his tight end, Kittle. That's his first reception of the ballgame, and it really comes at a good time as they get the conversion on 3rd down.
I know, I'm biased. But listen, you can't convince me, Mike, that there's a better option on the field, especially when you got a guy like this, that on 3rd down or critical moments, that's where the ball needs to go. The size, the speed, the matchup problems that he creates. If that was in a critical situation, there is no doubt where I'm going with this.
These two in rhythm. 12 more yards and a first down.
First down.
And while it ultimately worked out for him this time, Mike, this is not a throw he wants to make a habit of, because that was risky. When he threw it, I thought that ball was being picked. I think he got away with one here, results in a big pickup, and get a fresh set of downs.
And he's skips away nicely for that first defender. It's a pickup of 5.
Brought down at the 31. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
From the 31, here is 2nd and 5. Now the pitch comes to McCaffrey. No dice there. He is met and tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
I'd like to see that running back be a little bit more decisive with his cut, Mike. You can see he was a little hesitant, and once you're late making that decision, you just kind of get strong laterally. Great job there by the defense, and he has no choice but to take that loss.
3rd down. Purdy. That's caught. It's Evans. That's his first reception of the ballgame, and it really comes at a good time as they get the conversion on 3rd down.
It's going to take me some time. It's going to be hard to get used to seeing Mike Evans in a 49ers jersey, but the one thing I am used to is seeing plays like that. You think over 12 years in Tampa, struggled with some injuries, failed to reach 1,000 yards for the first time in his career a season ago, and the Bucs move on. San Francisco says, thank you very much, we'll take you, and it's a big-time player joining a really good team.
And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
You want to see linebackers play downhill, Mike, meaning there's not a lot of side-to-side pursuit. They're attacking the line of scrimmage, attacking the ball carrier. That's exactly what we saw out of this guy here. He's able to make the stop at the line of scrimmage and keep it to no gain.
That's the man from Oregon. This is Jordan James. Trying to find somewhere to go, but the defense with other ideas. They stop him. That'll be no gain.
Well, this play, Mike, was clearly about the job of this defensive line. Great job holding their ground, forcing these blockers to be stood up. Nowhere to go for this running back, and they hold him to no gain.
They send Evans in motion. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Purdy. He'll look middle, and he's got his man complete. And he will easily pick up the first down. They've got 1st and goal coming up. Minutes remain in a 3-0 first half. Greg and I back to London, England. After this opening drive, it has been a work of art. Now, can they put the finishing touches on? It's 1st and goal. That's hauled in at the 2. And he's going to be down close to the goal line. Good job defensively to make sure he did not get to the end zone.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
From the 2 now, here's 2nd and goal. The Jags will use the first of their timeouts here, and they'll get together prior to the 2nd down play. Throwing is Purdy. And he's going to be stopped in the backfield. Taken down back at the 3. Now a timeout for Jacksonville. Their 2nd. Talk things over before 3rd down. Purdy. And he's in. Christian Kirk. Touchdown, San Francisco.
San Francisco.
On now, Eddie Pinheiro for the extra point. He's got it, and the 49ers move out to a 7-3 lead.
7, Jaguars 3.
So now, after the touchdown, Pinheiro out to kick it away. Very good kickoff. Returnable from the 4. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Jaguars offense ready to get going with their second possession. They'll do so with 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence. That one pinballs around, but it is incomplete. Jacoby Myers was the intended target, and it'll be 2nd down.
There's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
2nd down, Lawrence. Catch made right side by Thomas. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
3rd and
4. Here's a 3rd down and 4. They'll fake it to Tootin. Now it's Lawrence. That's over the middle, but it's incomplete. Brenton Strange was his intended target. And it's going to lead to 4th down.
I think he predetermined that 3rd down throw, and even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway, and it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out there.
Cowing on the return. And good coverage by the punt team. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up. The 49ers offense going to take over here in the final minute of this first half. The lead sits at 4. So they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10. With the middle of the field, he's got Evans. And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line. The Niners will use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40. From the shotgun, it's Purdy. Down the field, it's Evans. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35. A 2nd consecutive big play to start this drive. 29 yards on this one. This drive started to take some nice shape. Another 1st and 10 here. Shotgun snap to Purdy. That's caught by McCaffrey. Timeout 49ers. That is their 2nd as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in the opening half.
They were able to complete this pass, but how often do we see these running backs run these angle routes and they catch it in stride and run a hole through the defense? So I know the defense gave up some yards here, but it could have been a lot worse.
They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. Again in the air for Purdy. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very good there. Contact jarring the ball loose. And it's going to force 3rd down.
They nearly connected on the big play downfield, but he's not quite able to hold on to that ball through the contact. You can chalk that one up as a win defensively.
3rd and short. Here's Purdy. That's caught. Left side. It's complete. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Eddie Pinheiro going to come on and try a field goal now. This just a little more than a chip shot. 32-yard attempt. Pinheiro's kick is good. And the 49ers going to tack on 3 more, extending the lead here late in the first half.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. Scott Hansen, good to be with you from the Orlando EA Sports Studios with an abridged halftime report. This one shaping up to be a tight one, as evidenced by the scoreboard. Both these teams playing it close to the vest in the first half. What will happen in the second half? Let's find out as we send it back to the stadium and our commentary team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Scott, thank you. Both teams trying to find the right formula and come out on top in this tight one as we hit the second half. Both teams ready to get back at it as we get back underway here on EA Sports. Crazy. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. The Niners offense ready to get going again. They'll have it first in this third quarter. With a solid start so far. Touchdown and a field goal on their first 2 possessions. They'll run with McCaffrey to start this drive. And showing a little versatility as he takes this one forward up to the 34. A pickup of 9.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and
1. Now it's 2nd and 1. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll get the first down there. A pickup of about 5 yards.
It just seems like every time this guy touches the ball, he makes something happen. And not all of his runs are always going to be positive. He's kind of one of those guys that's going to get a 0, a 1, a 2. But it's the home run threat. It's the big plays that really tip the scales in your favor. And when you can generate those big explosive plays on the ground, man, it makes such a big difference for the offense. So they go with the first down run, hoping to just get them some positive yards and get themselves into a good second down situation. But now they find themselves in 2nd and long. So the more you give defenses the opportunity, Mike, to defend you one-dimensionally. So in this case, we're only playing you in the pass. It stresses your protection, it stresses your play caller, and ultimately, it stresses your quarterback.
He's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4. And a ring up, 3rd down. Throwing from the gun is Purdy. Going up top for Evans. And that is incomplete.
So obviously here in this one, the points have been at a premium. So now as you get into the second half, I think both these offenses start saying, all right, we've had a hard time sustaining possession. We've had a hard time going the long way. Let's try to generate some chunk plays and get a little life in our offense. And that one falls incomplete, but I think they got to just continue to attack downfield.
Fair catch signaled and taken at about the 18-yard line. The Jaguars offense and their running back, Bashal Tootin, heading back for their next possession. And he's had trouble getting on track in this one. Really limited space to find an opening. The defensive front stopping him multiple times. Generally, he has not been a big factor in this game to this point. This drive begins with a run by Tootin. And he's going to get this to the 37-yard line. Good footwork, very much appreciated here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That's the first down.
Jaguars
Really nice job by the interior of this offensive line. It typically just takes one guy to distort the defense to give the back enough room to operate, and that's exactly what they did here, and it led to a big gain.
Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. Now he's just going to flip this forward. And he's not going to get too far. Tackled after a gain of just a yard.
Gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 39-yard line.
Here now, 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Lawrence. Down the field, he's got Washington. And he's down inside the 40-yard line.
3 yards.
A gain there of 23 yards. That's good for a Jaguar. First down.
The 38-yard line.
Run over center now with Tootin. Strong running there. Inside the 30. On the move with a gain of 9.
29-yard line. It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
From the 29. Here's 2nd and 1. Another run here with Tootin. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. Good footwork, very much appreciated here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That's a first down.
Well, here he is just taking over this drive from the running back spot. And frankly, Mike, any time the secondary and defensive backs are making a lot of tackles downfield, you know the offensive line's doing their job up front, and we can see the results.
They're at the 17-yard line now for 1st and 10. Run out of the gun, and it's Tootin. And he'll find some way to turn this into positive yardage, struggling forward for a pickup of about 2. Stoppage here, one of the 49ers is down, and as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. They face 2nd down, 8 yards to go. Now here's Lawrence. And he'll take it on in. Jacoby Myers. Touchdown, Jaguars. Comes on now for the extra point. He knocks it through, and the Jaguars will tie things up. It's now 10-10. All level at 10 as this one's kicked off. Now Watkins on the return. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. Here's the San Francisco offense, ready to take possession of the ball once more. They'll see if they can go out breaking our tie. We're all even at 10 as this drive begins, 1st and 10. On the ground, it is James to start the drive. The hole closes quickly. He'll pick up about 3. Play is stopped. We have an injury to one of the Jaguars. The training staff going to look and will step out for a moment. They'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. To throw, it's Purdy. They set up the screen to James. And that one's not fooling anyone. They were on that screen from the start, and a loss of yards on the play.
The best defenders can just sense when a screen is coming. They can tell the body language of the offensive lineman's pass set. They can tell on the drop of the quarterback. It just doesn't look right. It's exactly the case here. Great job getting to the back and taking him down for a loss.
He manages to get the throw away and completes it. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
A gain of 30.
A big hit with Purdy to Samuel. And even 30 yards. And we will not get another snap here. That is going to do it for this third quarter of play. First and 10. From the gun, it's Purdy. He'll get this complete over the middle of Kirk. And they'll take this down inside the 35. He had their lone touchdown of the game earlier, and he comes through with the catch and a first down in this spot. They'll go with James. Not much to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's second down.
The 32-yard line. 1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Now Purdy. Got his man. It's Kirk. They'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
It's a gain of 6. And it's 3rd down.
The crowd making their presence felt. This is 3rd down. Out of the gun. It's Purdy. Taking off, he'll try to get there. And they're going to be in the red zone, in business. He's down inside the 15.
Great job here by the quarterback on 3rd and short, knowing that if nothing's there downfield, he can pick this up with his legs. And not only is he able to pick up the first down, he gets a whole lot more than that.
Space getting tight here, down to the 13-yard line. They work 1st and 10. A run with the man from Louisville, Isaac Guerendo. And he's into the end zone. Isaac Guerendo. Touchdown, 49ers. Greg, every touchdown counts the same, but the ones you get in the fourth quarter, they are the ones that feel a little more important.
Yeah, now that pressure shifts to your defense, your offense was able to go out and get the lead here late. Does your defense have enough left in them to get one more stop?
Pinheiro on for the extra point. It's up and good. And the 49ers go up by 7. It is now 17-10.
Jaguars 10.
So the lead is 7 now here in this fourth quarter. The tie has been broken. Let's see what happens on this kickoff. Across 20. They'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. That's where the offense will take over. The Jags offense and their running back, Facial Tootin, heading back for their next possession. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. This one caught left side. That's strange. And he'll only manage a couple of yards before he's out of bounds.
And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
Lawrence now on second down. That's complete to his running back, Facial Tootin. Was brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up third down.
Defensive coordinators preach all the time, play pass defense with vision. It's exactly the case here. They're able to rally to the ball, keep that to a short game.
Big play coming up. This is third down. Lawrence. That is caught. Thomas, he's got it. He'll get out of bounds, a gain of 8, and that's going to be good enough for a first down.
Critical third down conversion there, Mike. Now brings up a fresh set of downs. You find yourself here trailing in the fourth quarter. They got to go down and score, and they got to score fast.
They put Strange in motion. A first down throw for Lawrence. That'll be complete to Tootin. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down.
A 6-yard pick.
Great example of first down efficiency. You don't always have to go for the big play, but put yourself in a friendly second down. Now you have equal opportunity to both run and pass.
From the 44-yard line, here's second down and 4. To throw is Lawrence. That one incomplete. Good job. Textbook there. Separated the man from the ball, and it'll bring up third down.
So this is where it gets really challenging as an offense. You find yourself trailing late in the game. The defense can play you one-dimensional. They know it's a pass-first situation, so extra defensive backs, the zones and the coverage are a little bit tighter and cloudier, and he's having a hard time finding any open windows downfield.
His second catch of the drive. This one good for 15 and a first down.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late.
And they will not be able to get another play off, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. Greg and I back for the conclusion in a moment. They'll drop to throw. Oh, he can't get rid of it, and he's taken down.
After allowing a chunk play on that previous down, nice job there settling in. They make a big play of their own, and they get him down for a sack.
Now on second and long. In motion comes Thomas. Second down, Lawrence. This ball batted away. That's incomplete.
The game is there for the taking. They control their own destiny, but this brings up a really big third down here. But remember, they don't have to force it and push the ball past the sticks. Even if they come up short, they still have fourth down in their back pocket to try to extend this drive and see if they can pull out the win here late.
Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Pass caught by the tight end, Strange. It'll gain some yardage here, but that is not nearly enough for the first down. It's going to bring up fourth down.
Well, let's give some credit to the big boys up front in the trenches. They knew that blitz was coming. They held up just long enough that the quarterback could get that ball out safely and results in a completion.
And that is incomplete. They had their chance. They took it there. Look, they're trailing late. Got to let it fly. This will wind up a turnover on downs.
So you roll the dice on offense and you fail. But now you can't give up. Your defense has to go out there and get a stop. You have all 3 timeouts. You have time to get the ball back one more time on offense. So now your defense needs to answer the bell and give your offense one more shot.
They'll start on the ground with James. A good physical run, motoring forward for 9. The Jags will use the first of their timeouts here. Clock is stopped, 55 seconds remaining here in the game. So they have it 2nd and 1. They keep it on the ground with James. And he'll work his way for about 4 yards. That's good enough for a first down. Now a timeout for Jacksonville. They're 2nd. Clock shows 50 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. So a win here for the 49ers. They're able to get the job done in front of a hostile crowd as they come away with the victory. And that'll do it for my partner Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long from London.